What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thanks for being here. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend and ready for this Mars Day this Tuesday. I'm ready. I know a lot of you drink coffee when you watch this. I've seen it in the comments, and cheers to you. I'm drinking coffee too. I'm recording this Memorial Day morning, so good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy that coffee and enjoy the day. What's this day look like? Well, we're going to have the moon here, done with Pluto and Aquarius, right in the middle of Aquarius. It's going to do a really good job of stoking the fire of Mars and Chiron, and even the North Node in Aries. So there really is just a lot of like air and fire right now. The only thing we really have going in Earth is our mind and our higher mind, if you will. Well, Jupiter could be the higher mind, but Uranus is the antenna, right? But Uranus and Mercury over there in Taurus. So I think as we're in Gemini season, we're seeing this Aquarius. It's very intellectual. It's very people-oriented sort of Tuesday. Something that caught my eye that I don't even talk about much is Lilith. Lilith is kind of flirting with Libra and Virgo right now, but today it's kind of flirting more with the South Node, more with the Libra energy, which I think, in my opinion, is making it a lot more easy to find the right vibe, find the right energy. Libra wants to find balance, peace, and harmony. Lilith, wants to do her. So there's this energy within us that's trying to find the right energy to be around, the right relationships to be around, and kind of like not play games and not mess around and not give in to certain things that we don't want to feel either. And of course, the moon's going to trine that Lilith early in the morning as well. So there's, big grand trine energy. We got Venus and the Sun coming together in Gemini, which a lot of people are a little confused when I say like superior conjunction, or, everybody's very familiar with the term cazimi. So if this was Earth, where we are, and this was the Sun, then Venus would be over here. So that's the conjunction we're looking at from the Earth's point of view. Venus conjunct the Sun. But what's really happening is the Sun is behind Venus right now. Some people are I guess you have to understand a 3D model for that. But that's why it's called superior, because this Venus is outside the Sun from our point of view. A cazimi would look like this. The Sun, Venus, Earth. Cazimi means in the heart of. So from our point of view of the Sun, Venus would be in the heart of it. And that's when Venus is retrograde. So direct Venus over here. Retrograde Venus over here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. You can call it a cazimi if you want. I really don't care. But when I talk, I call this a cazimi and this a superior conjunction. And that's just how I roll. And I get questions about that. And I'm not specifically talking to you, Iggy. You're not the only one that's asked this question, but that's my explanation for that, which we're about to have exact tomorrow. So there is a high level of energy right now with relationships. Venus is the dispositor of the South Node. We have Lilith there. Moon's in Aquarius. People energy is very present right now, and that's not a bad thing. I know the North Node's in Aries and Mars is with Chiron, so the issue is that people are so present, relationships to things outside of us are so present that we're not defining our lives. And that's what Mars in Aries wants to do. It wants to take initiative to define its way, to be an individual, and to be its own ego, to be its own energy that's moving forward in life. And I think the moon in Aquarius is doing a great job of rebelling from situations, from being itself. It's doing a good job being itself. So the really good aspect here, it's just this I almost want to say this stupid Chiron And maybe that's my own projection because I've been going through a bunch of Chiron stuff for the last couple years. But Chiron's not stupid. Chiron is the wounded healer. So we can definitely, feel like we can't do things. We got to do stuff that other people want to do it. We can't, initiate life for ourselves. There's some wound stopping us, some old story, right? And hopefully this full moon in Sag is having us go and say no old stories. And this moon saying new stories only. I like how my computer just ramped up for that for no reason. It started clicking at me. But that's where we're at right now. So it's definitely like finding this next level of healing within ourselves that helps us be more of the individual we're meant to be. Go into relationships, go into groups where you're able to be 100% yourself, where you're able to be authentic, you're able to express yourself, you can have your truth, and that you can let other people have their truth too. We don't have to be around people that think exactly like us, that do life exactly like us. It's a vibration. Do people accept you for who you are? Do people think it's cool that you like the thing you like, even if they don't like the thing you like? Like, that's where we're at with relationships. And I think that this Lilith is playing a part of that because it's like, there can be relationships, but they have to be independent. They have to kind of know what they want. They have to be, in some ways, self-sufficient, but then come together with the power of individuality of two people to create an identity within a relationship. Instead of just one entity in a relationship saying, this is the identity of the relationship. It reminds me of when you get into relationships, or if you've had relationships, and I've had these in the past, where one of the people completely ditch their friend group and just hang out with the partner's friend group because, well, the partner is more dominant in the relationship, and they're not giving in to go hang out with one side. They're saying, hey, you want to be in a relationship with me, you're coming to my side. And somebody, gives in, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you got cool friends too, so I guess. I mean, I'd like to go see Becky, but Jake's fine. You know what I'm saying? So there is heavy energy. In ancient, astrology and traditional astrology, Venus conjunct the sun is never really a great thing because Venus is combust by the sun, which makes it even harder to relate in healthy ways, but also relating to ourself in healthy ways, right? Remember, Venus is also Taurus energy. So we really want to use our power to relate in the most authentic way forward, communicate and express in the most authentic way forward, and remembering that Mercury and Uranus are coming together in Taurus, which is really being able to understand our own unique values and how to liberate ourselves from things that are not providing us with the bounty and the gold in life, and how to find really, strong, grounded connections in this life too. So I think that there's a lot forming that's really positive for people, relationships, and just for, the uniqueness of oneself, to find energy that's more accepting, that's not so stuck in a certain way, has to be a way. And I think today's a good example of how there's a lot of different ways to find value. There can be value in there can be value in anything, really. It's all perspective. But it's finding the right perspective that aligns with us, that lets us be ourselves, that doesn't look at us like we're some hunchback of Notre Dame, with Chiron there. So it's like, are people looking at you like, oh, wow, you're going to do that? You're a big old idiot. Or are people looking at you like, whoa, I can't believe you're going to maybe do that, or maybe you're thinking that, but that's pretty cool. And like, there's like a respect, right? Even if they might not understand it fully themselves, but they like respect you, that you would do it your way. Like you would respect somebody else doing it their way. And I think that today's a good day to look at where situations like that come up in life, because it's important, because we can lose ourselves and like almost give in to another way that really isn't unique. And I do think this Aquarius moon gives us a nice way to kind of detach emotionally, to get into the more logical, logistical and logical side of where trajectories are going within our, you know, interpersonal relationships. And within relationships to, other things too. This goes into jobs and, all sorts of life, right? Relationships are a very broad subject. Hopefully, we're finding more truth in the values within ourselves, finding more confidence, and being able to express that. And some people don't like other people's opinions very much, so we got to figure out how that goes. But Jupiter's definitely trying here in Gemini to say, hey, the more you tell your truth, the more you express, and you kind of got to preach your truth, the more benefit comes your way. Even though it might feel like it's a restricting endeavor to give certain truths to certain people, because, well, truth is a very subjective thing, and some people, I don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear the truth. And I don't know if it has to be a truth where you're telling everybody what's wrong with them. Nobody likes that, of course. People are going to feel, very confined and restricted when they're put into that corner. So it's kind of just going off and doing your own thing on this Mars day and making the day pop for you and making sure it's really connected and really on the vibe. It's a vibe. It's been about vibe lately, in my opinion. So vibe checks all around and express yourself in your most authentic way. We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Well, this is saying we don't need to really weigh so many decisions out. When it comes to the things we want to make happen in this life, the direction we want to go, how we're standing on our own 2 feet in this world, we don't need to be in such a limbo. We don't need to feel like one foot's off the ground, one foot's on. Like we gotta, really sacrifice certain things that we value to maybe please other people. I feel like we have to stay as firm as we can in knowing where things are going. Even if things aren't firm, we have to be firm within ourselves and make solid choices. This is definitely one of those wishy-washy cards. Not sure where it, really wants to go, what it wants to do, but it has options. Well, today, getting it reversed is saying that there is options, there is a choice, and make it. Don't shy away from it. Don't feel like you got to be stuck in limbo too long. Today's a defining day, and it can definitely pop in a really positive way if we're able to stoke our own fire and find energy that is stoked for our own fire, and be stoked for other people's fire if you love and appreciate them in your life, even if you might not completely agree. Let people have their identity and live their life. It's an important time to recognize that in others, because I think many want that recognized in themselves. All right, I love you all. I think you're amazing. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all for Wednesday's horoscope. Much love. Peace.